The objective of the lesson is I can identify zeros and their multiplicity of a polynomial function. So the multiplicity of a zero is the degree of its corresponding linear factor. So we can rewrite this as x plus 5 squared times x plus 4. So the way this works is this is technically a third degree polynomial that's factored. And if we set these linear factors equal to 0, we'd get x equals -5 and x equals -4. But the difference is this has a multiplicity of 2 because its linear factor has a degree 2. Write f of x equals x to the third plus 4x squared plus 4x in factored form and graph the function. Then look at how the multiplicities affect the graph. So we can factor this x cubed plus 4x squared plus 4x by first factoring out an x. Then we need two numbers that multiply to 4 and add to 4, and that's going to be 2, positive 2 and positive 2. So it's x times x plus 2 times x plus 2. So then we have zeros at -2 and at 0. So we have a point here at -0.667 and -1.85. So let me go ahead and add that to our graph. So we have this point here, and then the graph looks roughly like this. It's not perfect, but it's enough. So when the multiplicity is even here, in this case, x equals -2, the multiplicity is 2, the graph will bounce. And what this is known as is a tangent because the slope at that very point is 0, which we'll talk about in the next course. But when the multiplicity is odd, the graph just intersects the x-axis like it does here. So this part is where it intersects. But it says tangent. I like to think of the word bounce because it really does bounce off the x-axis. So in this case, we have f of x equals x minus 1 squared, 2x minus 3 squared, x plus 4. So we're going to set each of these equal to 0. So we get x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1, 2x minus 3 equals 0, x equals 3 halves, x plus 4 equals 0, x equals -4. So we have a 0, 1, 3 halves, and -4. And then the multiplicity is going to be 2, 2, and 1. So this is going to be tangent, tangent, and then this is going to be intersect. Here we have x to the 5th plus 8x to the 4th plus 16x cubed. So we have to factor out first an x to the 3rd power. And then we get x squared plus 8x plus 16. So then we can factor this as x plus 4 times x plus 4 using our methodology that we discussed earlier. So then this will be x third times x plus 4 to the 2nd power. So x equals 0 or x equals -4, but the 0 has a multiplicity of 3, the -4 has a multiplicity of 2. So then we just add these in. We have 0 and -4, the multiplicity is 3, the multiplicity here is 2. So because the multiplicity is 3, even though it's 3, and it's greater than 1, it's going to intersect. And then because 4 has an even, it's going to be tangent. Here we're asked to find all zeros and their multiplicity. So we don't have the table, but that's okay. So we first are going to factor out our greatest common factor, which is just x. We get x squared plus 14x plus 49. And then we can factor this as x times x plus 7 times x plus 7. So we can rewrite this. I keep forgetting the x. Oh, no, it actually is supposed to be x, sorry. So it's x times x plus 7, quantity squared. So x equals 0, or x equals -7, and that has a multiplicity of 2. Here we have 4x to the 3rd power minus 4x squared plus x. So we first factor out an x again. So we get 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. So then we have to multiply these first two terms together. We get 4x squared. So then we rewrite this as x times 4x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 1. Again, this is all steps on how to factor. If you need more help, please go to 0.3 for that. So then you have 2x, and then 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. And then this factors as x times 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. So then we have to do x equals 0, and then you have 2x minus 1 quantity. This is x times 2x minus 1 quantity squared. So then you do the 2x minus 1 and set that equal to 0, and you end up with x equals 1/2, and that has a multiplicity of 2. Here we need to factor this polynomial and state the multiplicity of the zeros. So we have to factor out an x squared first, so it becomes x squared plus 18x plus 81. Then this will factor as x squared times x plus 9 times x plus 9. So it's x squared times x plus 9 quantity squared equals f of x. We set this equal to 0. Then we have x equals 0, x plus 9 equals 0, so x equals -9, and they both have a multiplicity of 2. After this lesson, you can state the multiplicity of zeros of polynomials.